A very, very warm good evening. This is Arunfoot Chaudhary. It's September 18th, 2024. It's a Wednesday. And a little while back, an AFC Champions League 2 game finished off, in which Mohun Bagan were held goalless by Ravshan Kulob of Tajikistan. And saw a little bit towards the end, and the less I say, the better, I think. And again, there are expectations of Indian clubs beating stronger teams in these kind of competitions. As I say, the less we say, the better, I guess, on the game. And as always at the start, some of you might not be watching it live, but maybe watching it a little deferred. Like, share, and subscribe and support arunfoot here on YouTube and on my other social medias. 1,707 subscribers to the channel, so thanks a lot to all of you for that. And those of you who are new, if you like the content, do leave a like behind. If you think that your friends should have a look at it, do share it as well with them, and subscribe if you would like to return. So that's my request to all of you, and let's get into the thing of the day. Good evening, Gear on Rare. That's the summary of the game. Yeah, Ritro, I think. That's an interesting one. That performance, Mohun Bagan, so-called stars finishing, looks pathetic. Yeah, Gear on Rare. Droliana out, says Blue, good evening to you. Good evening to Ranjan. Not playing Greg Apuya. Listen, Blue, my question to you guys would also be is, does it show, despite whatever Mohun Bagan has said or Mohun Bagan officials have said, is there or are there priorities rather the ISL than the ACL too? If you look at the starting lineup, right? So that's a question that one has to ask, at least I felt so. I don't know what you. When I saw the lineup, I thought, okay, I've got some injuries here and there. I'm resting a few players here and there who are also, again, Greg didn't look fully fit to me the other day against Mumbai. Apuya had his moments, but wasn't really there as well. So therefore, that's a question that I ask you guys. What do you think? So therefore, give it a thought and let me know, and then we can discuss it. Like, share, please like and share the stream. Yes, and subscribe, of course. Ranjan, thanks a lot for that. And as always, those of you who've been around for a while, thanks as always for your support, and that really means a lot to me. Thanks a lot here from the bottom of my heart. And also do follow. I did a little bit more of a critical thing today on the appointment of Santosh Kashyap. If you haven't seen it, where I question the AIFF and their appointments of national team coaches. And that's another thing that we were speaking yesterday about. Finishing was so low today for Mohun Bagan. If you can't score, remove his chances, and they said you will not get points. Simple. Yeah, Shoma, that's it. And again, you played against a defensive opponent. You couldn't get it. Just asking, is it too early to go against Molina? PR, was it a joint abysmal performance of players and him, so let's blame on him? Orithro, there are two things. To me, there are two things which I see or I feel when I see Mohun Bagan at the moment, is that the defensive unit is not good. So the question needs to be asked, either it is Molina or those who are the recruiters, if they've not learned the lessons from last season. That would be my simple question after this performance, right? Not even this performance. Look at the Mumbai City performance. Look at the Durand Cup final performance. BFC, Punjab FC. This has been going on and on. I mean, the biggest positive today is that Mohun Bagan didn't concede a goal, right? So that's the biggest positive, and that's a disturbing fact for them, because they've conceded too many goals before that, and that's a question: is who has put this squad together? Who has been thinking? Because I need a balance, and I see a lot of teams in the ISL who don't seem to have a proper balance. Who, whenever one or two players are out, they are not of the same quality, and that is something which I feel is very, very, very disturbing to see. So Lucas out ISL for 6-7 weeks. I guess thoughts on his injury. Gieron Rare. I can even read out the Punjab FC statement if you guys want to. Those of you who haven't heard it, 1 second, let me just bring it up. Brutal injury. Let's put it this way. I hate to speak about intentions of players trying to injure someone. I don't want to go that path of saying that Rahul KP unintentionally wanted to injure him. I don't think that is the case, but I think Rahul KP in that situation is reckless, and recklessness also should be given a card which is can only be red, because you're going into that situation, you're not in control, you're in the air, you've got your arms, your elbows. It's too dangerous. And just reading out the club statement for Punjab FC, it says Punjab FC forward Luka Machin will miss 6 to 8 weeks of football in the Indian Super League due to an injury sustained during the season opener against Kerala Blasters on Sunday at Kochi. The Slovenian has sustained 2 fractures to his jaw, and he will undergo surgery in the coming days and will be under supervision of the medical team. He will return to action post-surgery pending on the medical conditions and clearances by the medical team. Speaking on development, football director Nikolaos Topoliadis said it is unfortunate we will miss the service of Luka in upcoming fixtures. This was an unwanted aggressive foul by the Kerala Blasters player, which resulted in Luka's injury, and we as a club do not support such an aggressive nature of the game which leads to nothing. I wish him a speedy recovery, join the team back as soon as possible. Yeah, well worded, I would say, and it says, I think, all that needs to be said about this incident. I hope something is learned, but it's not the first, it's not the last such foul which will happen. But again, the referees need to be harsher in their assessment of such fouls, and then they will have to dish out red cards. That's the only option there is. Right. Should Molina kicked out tonight? I think it's still too early. I think that's why I'm asking the question. The question is it the coach or is it the people who put the squad together? So therefore that's, I think it's too early. 5 straight draws. Don't remember last time when Mohun Bagan did that. Yeah, Blue, that's also true. Sir, does Molina have a valid coaching license? Yes, Mourinho, he does. Mohun Bagan draws. Are you surprised or should have won the match? I don't think, even with the chance that, I don't think that there wasn't a deserving winner in this game, in my opinion. I don't know what other people think, but to me, again, what I saw was not good enough. If their target is Asa, why they're signing 7 foreigners? Blue, I think it's a backup plan because they realize that the defensive unit is an issue. And again, Alberto was missing today, so let's see when Alberto will return. So let's wait and see. Any plans of coming to India, Abhishek? I guess, middle of next month should be a time I should be back on Indian shores. Wake up time for Indian football. Even with star-studded team, we're not able to top the things. Rare, this was not a star-studded team today on the field, right? Mohun Bagan started with 3 foreigners. Of course, 3 good foreigners, but again, and with certain young players in the mix, national team players, but this is not a star-studded team which will make anybody worried in Asia, right? This is not a star. For Indian standards, it's star-studded. But this squad is not star-studded on Asian standards. Mourinho didn't win a single match from except an amateur team, Air Force. Yeah, that's the reality. Is there any update on Anwar issue? I have not heard anything. There's a lot of speculation today that the NOC would be issued and that he can sign for East Bengal. Again, this whole, let's wait and see. Whenever it comes out, we'll speak about it. So, do you think that Rafshan has got the highest advantage from referee? Cummings should score that easy goal and Liston should pass the ball. Pim and Dimi might tap in and collect that 3 points. I don't think so. We start again talking about referees, and I think Manolo said the right thing yesterday. The Manolo gives the penalty, you can't say anything against it, right? So sometimes it's given, sometimes not given. We have talked too much about the referees. We're not. Earlier before this, we were talking about the team and the performance and the coach. This is what we need to talk about. The referees are an easy way out to not put the blame on the people running affairs, and I think but Mohun Bagan, I think that's one of the things that has happened is surely. To me, very, very evident that the squad, and I'm not saying this today. I said this, 6 weeks ago. I think that to me the squad does not look balanced, and that's So let's see. Let's see what Mohun Bagan does. Sacking Habas will be written as one of the worst decisions of Mohun Bagan history. Yeah, Habas, if people like him or not, Habas is the most successful coach in the 10-year history of the Indian Super League. Period. Right? So you like his football, you don't like his football. I thought he was very practical last season, and therefore, and that's the reason. Because without Habas and Johnny Kauko, of course, coming in, I don't see Mohun Bagan lifting anything last season. They would have finished 4th, 5th, 6th. KBC have their own Mario Balotelli, then why they need Super Mario, Lord Rao KP take a bow. Shomo, it's very easy to make these kind of jokes, and then next week, one of the teams that you support, the player does it. So again, stupid to go in that situation that way. Clear red card. Anyone saying anything else, sorry, doesn't understand football to me. Let's be very clear about it. And then the matter is over. And people saying intentional, jail him, this, that, that's also BS, right? He did a misjudgment, stupid way of going in. Don't do that. That's a simple message that I have. Do you think referees not provide penalty most so they could win, not win? Arup, as I said, don't put it on referee. Mohun Bagan have themselves to blame. Why the hell Mohun Bagan do not feed all the foreign players? If they care so much about us, don't allow them to represent us in Asia. They are spineless. I'm just speculating. I don't know. And I think there are issues of fitness and other things, and so therefore these things need to be considered. But Mohun Bagan, to me, today this was the chance at home. If you wanted to get something out of this, I said upper limit is 9. Upper limit for me is 4 points. Minimum should be 1. That 1 is now on the board. But are they going to get more? I'm very interested to see. Hi, Amol. I think the scouts should also be kicked. Also, Vinay Chopra, according to some fans, Don, whatever. Yeah, Blue. The questions need to be asked about, as I said, about the management. To me, again, Mohun Bagan are not a balanced team. They're paying, and they're overpaying players, left, right, and center. This whole Anwar issue is because of overpaying players. And even Anwar was overpaid before that. Mohun Bagan have brought a lot of issues and problems into this league because they're overpaying players, and the others are continuing with it. But it's not only an ISL problem, it's an I-League problem. I see in the Kolkata League, look at the Super League Kerala, everyone's being overpaid, right? For the standard of football, I mean, some of these guys should be playing for free, the level of football they play. They should be paying money bloody to play these sports, right? It's shameful. Again, I didn't see any penalty as well. Hello, Sani, update Anji coming to India for friendly. Amol, I said that today. If the Kerala government says they want to spend 100 crores on Argentina playing in India, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. If a sponsor comes over and says, listen, I want to spend 100 crores and want to waste money, not a problem. But if a government, a state government, if the central government, it does not matter, wants to spend 100 crores on Argentina playing in India, with that money, I don't know how much you can do. Let's see. Do you think Mohun needs better scouting? I think the whole league needs better scouting, right? But that's a different question. I mean, scouting in India, who are the scouts? Right? Is there scouting actually happening at the top level? Or are there people taking decisions and you get CVs and then you decide, okay, I'm taking this player, I'm not taking this player. Is scouting happening? You guys love to use the word scouting. Does scouting really happen in India? Across the level? I don't think so. Playing 3 foreigners in India, Blue, yeah, that's one of the reasons. And some owners were trolling Mumbai last season when Mumbai lost to Al Hilal and one of saying that they could have beaten Al Hilal, but they couldn't beat a club from Kyrgyzstan. I don't take that seriously. That thing, we are better than them, blah, blah. And again, yes, I have connections to Mumbai City, but I think Mumbai City have done themselves, a lot of favors over the last 10 years in the way that they've conducted themselves and done themselves. And Mohun Bagan has not. Also, Mr. Goenka needs to question himself and the people that are running that club for him. They need, but introspection, accountability does not exist in Indian football at all levels, right? Everyone bashing AIFF, and I did it today as well in this whole, it's. Manveer doesn't deserve that jersey. Was literally walking around, didn't even participate, impressing. Yeah, Drubajoti. You'll have bad matches, you'll have good matches, right? Tell me other people who are going to be better. This is again, it's a quality issue. We have an overall quality issue in Indian football, and we don't want to discuss it. That's our biggest problem at the moment that I see. We need to talk about the quality left, right, and center, and yeah, and let's see what happens. And very difficult. Is it really costly coming to India from here? We are coming to India on multiple occasions. Do you have to save money for those trips? Are you rich or middle class or rich in German context? Personal question. Abhijit, I will not define myself in public if I'm rich or poor or whatever. And yes, I've saved money last year, for example, when 2 years ago when I tried to help to avoid the FIFA bans, I twice came on own money. When it is on projects, I get paid for those. So there are different things. Hi Amal, welcome back. How do you rate today's opponent mode by match? Nothing special. Rafshan did what they needed to do. They won. I guess they played for a point. They got the point, and let's see what they do from this words onwards. Mohun and Sporting did quite well in their first match against us, although we didn't play well, especially the first half, and got enough chances to seal the match comfortably. Mohun, I think, lost it because they couldn't score, and Northeast United were opportunistic in the end to win it. Sorry. Do you think Anwar's previous decision will be restored by PSC eventually? I think so. The question is if the PSC is going to follow through with certain things, but let's see what happens. How do you feel about Bayern's performance? 9 goals, and according to who was the star of the match for Jamal with those 2 assists? Yeah, it was 9 in the end. It could have been 10, 11, 12. I don't even know how many they could have scored in the end against Dinamo Zagreb. Really good performance. Yeah, Jamal was top. And Michael Olise seems to be that X factor. Liking the player, and yeah. So again, Harry with 4 goals, again 3 penalties, scoring 3 penalties in one game, one player. Wow. You know. So yeah, Bayern, the final in Munich next year in the Champions League. Let's see. Vibin extends with KSC 2029, very deserved, especially with top clubs looking for a signature. Navneet, I guess it's trying to push the price up next summer when others are going to come for him. Let's see if that's the reason, or if the Blasters now have a plan, not for this year, but maybe for next year, to build a team around Vibin. So we will see what happens around it. But I can only congratulate the Blasters on extending the contract of Vibin, who is one of our most talented midfielders at the moment. Northeast United got good scouts. That's what you say. But again, who have they signed? If they're signing, what have they signed? They've signed only BFC players, right? Reserve team players. And a few from the Northeast here and there. Listen, I don't need scouts to be able to tell you, pick this player from Aizawl, pick there from Neroka, pick that player from Trau. You don't need scouts for that. You just watch 3 matches, you know what. Have you seen Moneyball? If yes, do you agree with it? Can it be used in football? What are decision parameters scouts need to see who will record it? No, I didn't see Moneyball. Literally felt like Mohun played the second team today. It's not a full on second team. It's just that certain players weren't there. So it's something between your first and your second team. ऐसा मैच देखो कि अगले पूरा दिन खराब जाए. Yeah, Guardiola, not a good game. Do you think your football career is shaped in a good way, Germany? If you have done same job, do you think any differences? I'm fine with my job. I work around the world, so I'm fine. Yeah, morally. Yeah, Germany, most probably, if I concentrated fully on German football, yeah, most probably I would be management level. Maybe CEO of a club or something by now. I don't know. Yeah. Do you think that ISA have quality to compete Asian level? No, we don't. Let's be honest about that. We don't. So that's the reality at the moment. Okay, now predict how many goals will Tractor score, 6 or more. Blue, it doesn't happen that way, right? Today was one match. Tractor will be another match. The Tractor away match will be interesting because that Mohun Bagan is very likely to go without foreigners and most probably without the coach. So we'll see what happens over there. After seeing U19 selection, many people are being racist against Northeasterns because they consist of 90% of the team and saying that players with physicality should be selected. They are shameful. Showcast, first of all, to me, it doesn't matter where a player comes from as long as he's good and it's justified that he's picked. The physicality is a nice thing to have, but if you can't play football, physicality has no worth and no, and the Northeastern boys are better than the others at the moment. That's the reality. They've been better for a while. The Manipuris and Mizos are better than the others. Now you've got kids from Meghalaya coming up, Arunachal is coming up as well. So yeah, the mainland has to do more to produce better talent. Bengal has to do more. Goa has to do more. Kerala has to do more. Punjab has to do more. Just to name some of the big ones. What will happen to a players' called West ISL after the season? That'll be it. The salaries will drop dramatically, right? Do you think this ISL will belong to the not so popular teams like Northeast, Jamshedpur, Chennai? Deepak, don't think so. I think in the end the big teams will work their way up. It was just the first match day, a match day of surprises. So let's wait and see what's happened. Uh, let's see. Do you think Musiala has crazy dribble like Ronaldinho, which other midfielders have rarely? Yeah, I think maybe he's even better than Ronaldinho. Who knows? Women को national team में कोई नहीं लेते. Chetan, I think this time will come, but this time is not there yet. I think there is still time for Vivian to be picked for the Indian national team. I think that the time will come for him, and then let's see. Hi, Beneath. No words left. Mohun Bagan, Super Jam specialist for both wearing captain's armband. Mohun Bagan played with 3 foreigners today in starting 11. Bubble animation, yes. Do you think our players incomplete, basic, incomplete product? That's what they're struggling top level administration. The players themselves, coaching, administration, the whole system is a problem. To all the guys in the chat, cherish this season of ISL. I feel we won't have these days in future. Oh, Deepak, very interesting comment. Let's see. Mohun would win this match if more aggression by the coach. Do you think it was offside? Sure. I don't think more aggression from the coach. It's just also we have to at some stage question the quality of the players. I think that's a reality which I feel is there. And offside, I don't know which offside you're talking about. Again, someone was talking about a penalty, and others are not even aware of those. Listen, it's not a question of if you don't score, you don't score. Do you think we're still searching leadership quality for a long time? Yeah, of course. Looks like Munida will get sacked by November. Zorawa, let's see. Again, it's early season, but 5 draws in a row, that's a lot. You think grassroots and youth football coach not scrutinized properly if national team coach doesn't perform well, he will be sacked. Your thoughts? Yeah, I've said it multiple times, Monali. At youth level, we need better coaching. Yeah. I guess Mohun Bagan should do away with the Australian lobby. Rafshan had good African players, but Australian players aren't up to the mark. Forget McNair, he's here for holiday. Now let's wait and see. Again, he was injured, and yeah, let's wait and see what they do. Considering all the players pool we have right now, on our day, which team we can beat in Asia play to our potential? Are we talking national team? Most probably the smaller nations, right? I mean, we should be beating teams from South Asia. Um, the one other side from Southeast Asia, maybe, and then it gets tough. When are the AIFF elections? Maybe there are no AIFF elections scheduled. Which team has better quality today? Match Mohun Bagan or Rafshan? I wouldn't even like to use the word quality in connection to this game. Your mentality is no one will ever get chance in national team. Sanjay, that's not the point. To me, is we are. Someone plays 2 good matches, he should be in the national team, right? Who in the last 2 years really, who's come in has made a difference in the national team? Which player has made a difference who's come into the national team? No one, right? So that's the reality. 2 good matches, or even people are now talking about Nofal after, I don't know, 30 good minutes. Nofal should be towards the national team. That is a problem. So let someone play, let someone prove on a regular basis. And if he's good enough, yes, let him pick and prove. But none of these players prove it, sir. That's the reality. And if you don't want to accept it, they sign players through agent recommendation by scouting. Yeah, Zoravar. Can Indian national team beat fourth division top in Germany? Difficult. Looks difficult to me at the moment. Prasanjit says Anwar has got NOC today. Yeah, this whole case is gone. I don't know where it's gone. Very weird how this is playing out. But again, yeah, it's a very, very yeah. Let's see what happens. Is low block is difficult to break. I find top teams struggling to break it. Only low block. It depends on how you want to crack the low block, right? Low block is a team for a lot of big teams, an issue around the world, and then you have to try to break it down. Mohun Bagan should scrap their AFC plans, says Akash. What changes are what changes are expected in October national team matches? It'll be interesting to see because I think interesting to see because yesterday we saw that Akash Sangwan started ahead of Jay Gupta as a left back. So it will be interesting to see if Akash Sangwan gets a call up because Subhashish Bose is also in a, some hole where we need to get him out of and he needs to start playing football again. Really sad to see the level of football that Subhashish Bose is dishing out at the moment. Want Rahim Ali to get a chance. Yeah. Other positions, we have options and players. I don't know where centre backs is an issue. I don't know. By the way, do you think Molina will stay for next 5 matches? Blue, if he again draws is always a dicey thing. If he loses, let's say 2 or 3 matches in the next few, then it becomes tight. I think then the alarm bells will start ringing. And again, the fans are already up in arms. If you see the reactions of the fans, and yeah, they're very interesting to see how the club proceed, because last season's backup plan of getting Habas at the moment, I guess, is not possible. Dear Mohun Bagan fans, stop saying sacking coach, sack your mentality. Continental football is not Kolkata football. Winning here is not easy. It's high time we change our attitude. Really, yeah, on one side, it's I get where you're coming from, agree, and but on the other side, the coach has been tactically with the substitutions, a lot of things where I find he's not done the right thing. No matter what Mohun Bagan do, looks like they will fail to beat any non-Indian club. Akash, yeah, that's been a problem for them, for a while. Do you think people who talk Indian football growing India will play FIFA and ignore statement? Yeah, of course, Mulali, 100%. J-League or Saudi, which is better? J-League. Is learning off-the-ball stuff as difficult as on-the-ball stuff? Is it off-the-ball contribution linked with on-the-ball skills like reputation with the ball and still some fear? See, off-the-ball it's about running, right? It's about positioning. It's about game sense, understanding, tactical awareness, all these things. You need to learn these things, right? And this is, again, some of our boys can't trap the ball properly, right? But again, these tactical things is another problem. So, yeah. And how Yamal got chance in Spain, not national team, before proving himself in La Liga. Sanjay, how do you say that? I mean, seriously, do you think that he got a chance in the Spanish national team before proving himself in La Liga? Of course he proved himself for Barcelona last season in La Liga. And we're talking about Yamin Lamal. We're talking about one of the brightest talents in the world of football. Name me one talented Indian footballer who we should call up immediately into the national team. Immediately. Who we are missing. A bright player who's incredible, who's torn down defenses. Just watch his goals over the weekend for Barca against Girona. Yeah, watch Jamal Musiala for Bayern Munich. We don't have any of these talents at the moment. We don't have exceptional talents. We have talented players, yes. Are they good enough for the national team? No. Right? That is something which we need to learn. So therefore, these weird comparisons with world-class players. These are world-class players. Ours are not even Indian level players, right? Some of them should actually retire in the way they play football. They're that bad. What are we talking about, guys? Today it should be 3 points, and main problem is they didn't try. So I think it's coach also. So didn't they try, or weren't they capable of trying? Blue, that would be my question. That is also a question which you need to ask. Do you think age is catching Subhashish? How do you rate him? At the moment, he's not in, I don't know, if Mohun Bagan had options, I think they should rest him. Yeah? So I could have finished the distance chance with my eyes closed with a bang with enough foot. Fast food, then do it. If you think it is easy, you could say it. I could say, listen, I could finish that chance. I could have finished that chance. Go on the field and do it. Why are you not a professional footballer then? It is very easy for us to sit here in our chairs or wherever we are and say, listen, I would have done this. Play it on the field. How much football are we playing, or are all of you playing? Right? It's easy to say that when you sit at home and say, listen, you should have scored that chance. We have all the money in the world, but somehow we always get our priorities wrong. Don't these guys at the top know football? Ranveer, your question is a very valid question, and I would say no. The people running Indian football at the moment at different levels, and don't just blame the AIFF, blame other stakeholders as well. Most of the decisions are wrong. Vineet Venkatesh is an example for other franchises regarding youth development champions at the age of 8 scored and they were for them against East Bengal. Zoravar, yes, and I would then say also no. Because a lot of other players who've had potential at BFC, and we've had a lot of players coming through, none of them really have made it to a higher level. Is Vineet Venkatesh a potential player who could be better than what the older crop is, right? Normally, you look for younger players. What is the La Masia strategy? To produce players who are better than the players before, right? So all these 16, 17-year-olds who are coming out of La Masia at the moment, where Hansi Flick is giving them a chance, they're better than the players they have. That's why they're playing. Vineet is playing, yes. But can Vineet up his level to a level where you'd say, you know what? You become a national team level player. That is what he needs to prove. Thapa is getting poor day by day. Don't know what happened to him. He lost his controlling abilities. Rare, I feel a lot of players are becoming complacent after signing big contracts. Sorry to say that. That's my feeling. I don't know if you agree with me, but I don't know. That's my feeling. Any update on Jingan? Deepak, I saw him yesterday in the stands at FC Goa. So at the moment, he's not ready, match fit. So I think it'll take a little bit more for him to be getting ready. Yamal played a full season when he was 15 with the first team after they was called. Yeah, no, exactly. And again, to compare any young Indian footballer with Lamine Yamal or a Jamal Musiala or whoever, Endrick, whatever, we are so far away from these realities. And at the moment, the reality is most of the older players are the better ones than the younger ones. Right? Wasn't Rahul Beke being called Lord Beke and all that stuff a while ago? He's the best centre-back at the moment. There should be better ones, but there aren't. So these are realities, right? Last season, people wanted Jay Gupta to play for India. Jay Gupta is not, he's not ready. Give him more time. Ashish Rai does not deserve a call-up. These are all realities. And this is what Manolo now will have to figure out. And it makes it even more difficult because you saw him in his gruntling mood yesterday that he's like, oh God, 3 matches down and having lost everything in the last few weeks. I don't know why, but I kind of sense that more and more will fail in AFC level and struggle under Molina. Somehow it seems to be true. Yeah. What's happening with China? Better info, more money, have natural foreign players. Still, they were on one of the worst teams in the Asian Cup alongside India. Ranbir, spending money doesn't mean you're going to be good. Spending money wisely. In the small sense, we're talking about India. In China, it's a much bigger way, much more spending, but they're not spending it on the right things. That's why then, and China is very controlled. So football, despite being a team game, the individuals decide these games, right? Why BFC always seems so harmful, less in the field? They lack killer instinct or mentality. Tough enough. Abhijit, um, yeah, I know where you're coming from. There is something missing with the Blasters to make them a real top team. Again, the fan base is an exceptional one, but again, toxicity is also a problem these days with the Blasters fan group. We see with this whole Rahul KP discussion. But yeah, they just need the one or two leaders on the field who gonna win them stuff at the end of the day, and that is something which they don't have. What was Thapa doing? Wasn't he a CM? Just saw Sofa score, and his position is more defensive than Tangri, who is DM. Um, yeah, but if you're forced in that position, playing with them, yeah, you think Mohammad Subhaja, I imagine, is doing well. Why they called Molina was jobless for 6 7 years. Akash, first of all, he wasn't jobless. He was working as a technical director with the Spanish Federation. But it also shows you that the management of Mohun Bagan Supergiant always falls back on people they seem to know, right? That's something which I've realized is had a problem, brought in Habas, coached in the past. You're looking for someone new. A lot of discussions about coaches here, there, and everywhere. What do? You fall back on Molina. So that seems to be a pattern to me. I don't know if I'm wrong or right, but that's my feeling. Blue, but they tried, and right is playing comfort zone of ISL makes them picking easy wins. Count level isn't. It's not easy, even against Bashundara of Bangladesh. Is struggling in the AFC Cup. Yeah, you're on there. Very good. With all due respect, Deepak should leave football and join hand-to-hand combat. How did he become a player with zero passing ability? I don't know. And then he's got issues off the field as well, right? So let's see what that thing happens. Sorry. I don't think they tried. They settled for a draw. Yeah. You think they didn't try? I say maybe they tried, but they. Any movement, did you find India made mockery out of it? Yeah, number of them, Murali, over the years, right? We had opportunities to move in the right direction and we didn't. All the East Bengal and Molman Chata still never count BFC out. They are the poster boys of how football should be run in India. Yeah, Obijit, but even BFC has been doing a lot of things wrong over the not this season, but before that, a few years, right? They were winning everything at the start, and then suddenly they didn't win, and then panic, firing coach, hiring coach, firing coach, hiring coach. Let's see. Let's see. The difference other Asian football nations and our football nations, they all work on sustainable model, and we don't sustainable for development football. Here on Rare, most of the models in Asia are unsustainable in regard to finance. So that in West Asia, no league is per se sustainable. There is either the state or someone else who's putting in the money. There's a guy named Ravi Hansta, one of the best players in CFA, was still struggling to get into a big club. Our clubs are ignoring new talents. Akash, clubs are looking at talents, and someone or the other then decides uh, um, if that talent can go in. And I think if we look at CFL talent moving into the I League and ISL, long way off. Using Samad in half space when you have Liston, what a joke. Who's better, Greg or Manvi as right winger, according to Molina? Yeah. What about Venkatesh replacing Mahesh for national team assistant coach? Why Sanjay? That would be my question. I think the main problem Mohamed Subhajan is the technical director. When Chopra, he destroyed the squad balance and signed McLaren and Stewart, then they had Demi and Cummings. So he's not the technical director, whatever his position is of Vinay, but he's not technical director. What are the criteria satisfies you to give chance to any player in national? Straight away, no signs for the player with the quality. Can you mention? Murali, either a player is so exceptional that I say, you know what, even if he's not good enough, give him a chance. And I don't see that in Indian players. In other countries, you've done it. Germany, for example, took 17, 18-year-old Mukoko to the World Cup, with limited time at Borussia Dortmund, because at the time they didn't have a proper striking unit in the national team. But Mukoko was an exceptional talent. Or you have to prove for a certain period of time that you are ready for international football. And this is something, again, Bob Houghton used to say that again and again. He says, listen, the best players in the I-League in those days don't have to be the right players to play for India at international level. So that is something that you need to recognize, need to realize, need to understand. And that's the challenge that you have as a national team coach. You need to realize, recognize, okay, can this player, can that player survive at international level? Tractor 3, Al-Wakra nil. I think now we can see a future icon known. Thanks. Even after I was a Revolution Club match struggling in the AFC level, then I-League was better. Akash, the competition level is higher. We used to play AFC Cup. AFC Cup, once in a while, a team used to go, again, BFC went to the final, East Bengal Dempo went to the semi-finals. Possible, because you're playing South Zone, and then with the right opponents, you can work your way through. Now in ACL2 is tougher than every AFC Cup that any team has played over the last 10, 15 years. Tractor Ray 3 up against Al-Wakra. Mohun Bagan is going to struggle big time against them. Yeah. Sumit says, sack Molina ASAP. Abhijit, KBFC is one of the finest team, but the management and both fan base don't want to accept the reality and truth. That's why the lack of few errors. I feel rest they are one of the best. There's a lot of work to do. What Mohun Bagan needs is a quality foreign CDM and a good Indian defender. Yeah, so I think that's something which is needed. Bro, Hyderabad is back again. Hijacking, yeah, seems like that they are. I'm still not clear. I've not heard anything in regard to the FIFA suspensions being lifted, but today Hyderabad, of course, was introducing players that they've signed. So therefore, there seems to be some sort of movement now. Will be interesting to see what happens there. जीतने वाले टीम को मोलिना ने हरा दिया उनके लाइनअप से लेके 90 minutes तक worst decision है. Okay, Shramachaka, that's your opinion. I know it's frustrating for you when you see such absurd comparisons, but you need to realize you need to educate us all about Indian football, as you know, social media is only 10 years old. Deepak, yes, on one side, but sometimes yes, I don't want to be the educator in that position. I expect that when we talk a little bit about football, that people have a little understanding. I expect a little understanding. And then if we're comparing Indian players with international players, again, I'm willing to share. And I'm not saying that with everything I'm right. Also, don't expect me to be right there will be things where I'll be wrong. Right. And I say that. And this is one of the biggest problems that I see. That's why I talk about accountability. None of these people are accountable. Indian football's biggest problem is there's no level of accountability at the moment. Right. And social media is not 10 years old for me, when Facebook and all that stuff started around 2005, 2006. So it's nearly 2 decades of social media. Now, has social media helped? In a lot of areas, it's helped. I mean, we can talk about I'm watching Indian football matches here in either in my living room or in my working study or wherever. That was not possible 20 years ago, right? We used to wait for someone on the other sending us a message saying, hey, or an email saying, hey, listen, this is the end result. So therefore, it's come a long way. But the thing is, Indian football is nowhere near where I or you or any of us would like to see it. But what Liston did was neither a shot nor a cross 5 meters away. Fast food, that's football. And before that, it wasn't easy to follow Indian football. Yeah, listen, I started IndianFootball.com in 1998, right? Sitting here, not sitting in Kolkata or Goa or Kerala, Mumbai or wherever. We've seen nothing is done, says Sumit. Do you think TFA recently punching below its weight? If yes, why is it? How they can fix it? They don't spend much and have their own setup. Abhijit, TFA has never spent too much, but TFA was like an unofficial Indian national center of excellence in the early days, and yeah, uh, you know, and but they're now integrated into Jamshedpur FC. The one on the player, let's say like a Vishal Yadav, has come through their system, um, but it's not easy. But it's not easy, and I think yeah, that's the challenge, I guess that TFA sort of has, right? Do you think Bahrain match was very close to qualify for next level, but afterwards we fallen down very fast? Um, yeah, Murali. I mean, I was there in Sharjah that day. Um, yeah, yeah, we were very close, and that Steven team was really, really good. But after that, yeah, we've had 5 years of Steamach, and where we see now ourselves, that's the problem. Till 80 minutes, no shots on goal, and Mohamed's playing their home ground. What is most players? They only Dimi shine. Yeah, Kishore. Do you think state affairs is the major issue for lack of development in football? Morally, state affairs, clubs, academies, AIFF, all of them together. As I say, all stakeholders. Mumbai City FC or Moman ACL level gameplay only comparison. Sanskar, you can't compare that. I know you guys love these sort of comparisons, but that was Champions League. This is ACL 2. Mumbai City was playing against much stronger opposition. So, nah. Do you think eventually Saudi League will also eventually go the CSL route? There is spending and star players and even more passion than China, but there's comfort and lack of appreciation of sports like us. Abhijit, I don't know where the Pro League will go in Saudi. They're spending a lot of money. It's not only just football, it's other sports as well. It's infrastructure. They're hosting a World Cup. Let's see if they learn the lessons of the mistakes of the Chinese, the mistakes of the Qataris. I don't know. I honestly don't know. And again, China, one thing which hit them very, very hard was an economic downturn plus COVID. Should not be forgotten. Those two jointly, create a lot of problems in the Chinese football structure. Is javelin played in Germany so we can see who is a decent player in India? Javelin is one of the Olympic sports in athletics. So yeah, but yeah, India's produced one great world-class athlete. So so you can't generalize it. Sri Lanka will soon have Man United player playing for them in Vimal Yoganathan. Wengo Governor will open size. Vimal Yoganathan is not a Man United player. He played yesterday for Barnsley. Zorawar. He's a Barnsley player. Tamil player from Barnsley. Sir, you like this new format UEFA Champions League? Yeah, Ishan, I think it's good because it's one league, exciting. You're playing 8 different opponents rather than playing double headers against 3 opponents. Do you think Mohun Bagan Supergiant never remain club who will develop players that also reason Mohun Bagan Supergiant lose? Nah, I don't think. I don't think. So many talks about SAF Club Championship app, but this. Gary, I said that yesterday. I think there is no update. I said it's been people are saying and talking about it for the last I think 15 years. Let's talk about it when it happens. This season not happening. There's no time. Yeah. So yeah. जीतने वाली टीम को ड्रॉ करना पाया अपने ही होम में जिसमें अगेंस्ट हम इजी जीत सकते द मोलिना का वर्स्ट डिसीजन का बदौलत yeah his decision making substitutions have not been good. When will Molina sack and performance remain same? I think Sanskar performance is one. I think the results are more important in that context from a Mohun Bagan perspective. I think he's got 3 or 5 3 to 5 matches to save his coaching role, because if it continues the way it is going at the moment, I think Molina is in a realistic danger of getting fired. I would think so. I think month of October, festive month, with Pujo and Diwali and all that stuff. Let's see. Al-Wakra played horrible football in first half. Okay, thank you for the info, Shomo. Dipendo had more sprint and interceptions, also passes than Bose was senior, supposed to be leading. Blue, I think Shubhashish needs to be given a break. He's not played well for a while, for club and for country. He was had huge problems last season in the semis and final of the ISL. At any time you felt India didn't utilize its potential properly? Murali, every day. Every day. Both was slower than referee. Sanskar. Is Crivellaro coming to Hyderabad FC? Hijack, gaming, from what I've heard, he's one of the players that they've targeted to. Let's see. I've not seen any updates. Again, for me, Sai Goddard is the only one who's officially been confirmed, but let's see who they all sign before tomorrow. Gavin Rest says, Deepak, that social media is 10 years old, but few 10-year-old clubs is better than 2 years legacy. Let's forget the history. It's not going to help us in present. We're 50 years behind from world football. Yeah, I mean, these are all realities. These big creators who are called as Indian football creators covering football only say that they have given up on Indian football and said people like you and Ashish Negi deserve that title. Thanks, Rambir. It's a fight. Again, sometimes I feel, it's more fun to maybe make a video on Bayern Munich's 9-2 against Dinamo Zagreb, but it's a fight that I've been fighting for the last 26 years in different capacities, and it's something which I don't want to give up, and and that's something. I will always do that. That's why people who watch European football not watch Indian football and choose cricket over football in India. It's Sanskar. You have a point over there. How to identify PR in football event, because right now people cannot be able to differentiate. Morally, again, most of the stuff that people write and put out is PR. Right? How do they depend the business of Mohun Bagan? Does he deserve to be in first 11 of Moga Supergiant? Zorawar, they don't have options. And amongst the ones that they have a few of those talented players who last season did impress in the CFL, but CFL to ISL, the jump is too big, but they don't have alternatives. Otherwise, you have to think about potentially putting Deepak Tangri into defense. It's like what East Bengal did of pushing Jigsaw into defense against PFC. Do you have contact with Mumbai City FC? Yeah, I do have. Mohun Bagan don't have anyone except Dipendo, so it doesn't matter if he deserves or not. Yeah, that's the problem. TFA worked hypothetically well for Indian football. They produce great products without spending much. Here and rare, and that is the mistake. They spend quite a bit of money, right? They used to come to Germany, to Cologne, to the sports university, and spend, spend quite a bit of time over here and develop the players. So, yeah. Man, Tractor with most Iranian player 3-0 up against Al-Wakra with high-profile foreigners. Yeah, Vedant. That's it. Here and rare, whatever the football's left in is because of the 100-year legacy blood of football heritage defined by our blood, not by some social media fanboys. Shomo, I can't fully agree of that with you. Of course, you have it in your blood and this and that and everything. But what have these clubs done for Indian football? That would be then my question, right? They're spending money, right? And they're spending money on their own teams. So what are they doing for Indian football? Right? That's something that these clubs these days cannot answer, right? They are harming Indian football more than they're helping. Nagaland footballer Nechivi here signed for Thai 3rd division. Good for him. Let's see how he does. My favorite match of all time is Germany vs Italy in 2006 World Cup. I just like watching the match just as intimate to have a similar favorite. Abhijit, this is one of the matches which I hate the most. I was in Dortmund that day. I watched the match. I've got, from an Indian perspective, I guess I would say India versus Thailand at the 2019 AFC Asian Cup. That would be my favorite match from an Indian perspective. German perspective, I guess also in Dortmund would have been Germany versus Poland, that World Cup, with Germany 1-1. If Kerala government is spending 100 crore, can they spend half of the amount on grassroots youth football? It would be better for development. Yeah, very well said, Murali. Why do you think our Indian clubs struggle in AFC? Because we're not good enough. Our players are at the moment overrated, and not only our players, you know, the foreigners as well. So to be honest, Rafshan quality is lower table team like Hyderabad FC. Vedant, yeah, most probably, but I would like to see them in their home game, right? If you're given a chance to be AIFF president, will you be? Sure. Very theoretical question. As I say, AIFF, if an opportunity arises and you can work with the right people around you, why not? Try at least give it a try. I would never turn it down. I would always say, let's try and change things. Why fans only target Indian play, all target listen but ignore easy chances missed by Cummings and Petratas? Yeah, Vedant, you have a point. My respect increased for Igor day by day. I mean, these players can't play, and Igor Manolo Juan, only Habas was who give result miscoaching, or sometimes his players blunders, and now Molina. Don't know how Mohun managed this whole season with Shubhashish. Vedant, will be interesting to see. These days, Indian football group to Real Kara Mora FC, and we celebrate signings of few players like we signed them for real shit. Yeah? Kieran Rare. Is Saudi national team have the same striker as India, considering they have foreigners in key positions in the league? No, they don't. The Saudis don't have the problem, Boogaloo's animation. If you see a big football player, will you ask for autograph or signing or signing or no interest? Maybe early days. Never had that interest. Never went for a photo or nah. Off topic, but I have heard that in Germany they don't like nationalism, patriotism. They only bring out their flags when World Cup or Euro. Is it true? No, Germany has a certain history, right? So therefore, yeah, football is something that they do. You think lower division in Germany is difficult or decent? It's difficult and the quality is decent, yeah, depending on teams. Do you think coach who didn't play higher level did very well as a coach? Your thoughts on that? Of course. Ralf Rangnick, Julian Nagelsmann at the moment, Jose Mourinho, all these guys have never played at the highest level. So how much range of salary will German coach with UFA and pro license ask for training you players for clubs? Bharat first where? In India or in Europe? A pro license coach would never coach a U14 team. A license would also not. You need a B license youth. That's your problem, right? You're going for people who are not intended to coach kids. Molina will sack, then most Havas will come back. Havas को भी लाना था, Havas को sack क्यों किया, उसको रखता coach. Sanskar, he's with Intakashi. He's not coming back. I don't know where you get that from. If Mohun Bagan wants to run very good and cost-effective residential, can will be even more costly than the AIFF squad. Depends on where they build it and what. The infrastructure building is going to be your biggest cost. I think a derby loss against East Bengal will surely guarantee Molina getting sacked by the current state of Mohammad Subhajan, highly possible. Let's see, Zorawar. East Bengal is also not in the best of shape. Horgatis FC Goa player John Hyderabad or not. Sanskar, he's one of those players that are being linked. As I said earlier, Crivellaro was mentioned, so let's see who signs or not. Only positive is that Albert, Nuno, Rice, Apuya, Stewart, McLaren player this team becomes strong to compete against Al Wakra. Vedant, let's see. Al Wakra are losing to Tractor, but Al Wakra is still much, much stronger. What went wrong for Mohun Bagan? Is it coach, player, management, owner? Whose fault? I think it's the management and the owners. I would say that the coach has been given a team which is missing certain positions. Any people who joins new to support Indian football right now, the way they're playing, thinking, should I support? There must be people, Murali. Kerala government is spending 100 crore to bring Argentina national team to play versus India. No wonder Indian football isn't progressing. I don't even know if they're going to play against India, right? They want to bring them to India, but I don't know if they're going to play against India. So Yeah, that's one of the things that we'll have to wait and see what they decide and who they play, right? Right, an hour covered. Didn't even realize that we were over an hour. It's 7:15 in Germany, 10:45 p.m. in India. Those of you who might be new to the channel, welcome to Arun Foot. My name is Ranawa Chaudhary, and if you like what you're seeing, do leave a like, share, and subscribe. 1,712 subscribers, so thank you guys for that. 20 likes so far. Yeah, let's try and grow the base. Why no foreigners limit in Asian Club Championship? Does that suit Saudi? Is it approved on all the levels? Abhijit, it's a new thing that the AFC has introduced this season. I think the AFC has also reduced the number of teams in the top tier Champions League, even in the ACL two. But most teams are not playing with 11 foreigners, so that's an interesting thing to see. You can utilize it, but it's a rule that they've created this season. Let's see how it works. So believe me, South India and Northeast boost Indian football with better fan base. South India, I don't know, because I think South India has the same toxic problems as Bengal these days. Here on rare. Can you mention issues which happen all around the world, not Indian football issue? European Super League as a topic, right? In Europe, where the super clubs were thinking for a certain while. Mohun Bagan Super Giant dropped 2 points. I think now they have no chance. Pranjal, they didn't have a chance ever. If they can't beat this, as I said, 1 to 4 points is what I said. And if I wanted 4 points, you would have to win today. And you couldn't beat Rafshan Kulub. So let's see. Do you think Habas could win today, hypothetically? Blue, again, hypothetically, I don't know. It depends. Was it the same team? Would Habas have had a different team? You never know. Having around 13 Bengali friends in university all stuck in East Bengal, Monwan, Bhawanipur, and CFL with Cape football, they don't want to see the bigger picture. Yeah, that's also reality. But still, even if Mohun Bagan Supergiant gone trophyless this season, they will still sign from A-League players, sign overhigh player, Indian and foreign, overpay them. Sanskar, yeah. Anwar indirectly destroyed both clubs. Why always Anwar in the thumbnail? Because it's one of the issues at the moment. Under Thomas Dennerby, Indian women team was doing well. Now AIFF, Santosh Kashyap, your thoughts on this? I feel it's a blunder. Garen Rare, if you haven't, or the others as well, I actually did a video earlier today questioning the AIFF's decision to appoint Santosh. Yeah, I hope it didn't turn out to be a rant, but it is a little bit of it because I still don't understand how this could have happened. But yeah, Santosh Kashyap now is the coach of the Indian women's team, and it just adds to those weird decisions in regard to coaches for national teams. Why is India failing to produce strikers? After 2000, things are going downhill. Zorawar, yeah, it's a problem. It's a huge problem because the clubs at the top level will play foreigners because they're going to win them games. Very simply. An Indian player has to be better than the foreigner playing next to him if he wants to play. I think Mohun Bagan lacks line breaker, Aka, DM, or ball playing CV, Johnny Kauko. Yeah. After the match, I saw two people in the Mohun squad who seemed sad. Dimi and Abhi. Others seems they don't care. Again, I don't read too much into this as well, Blue. Some people have a sad face. Some people might be laughing, joking. Let's see. Now better to give a chance to other clubs. Mohammad Subhajan almost for 3 years not performed well in ACL level. Yeah. Watching Tractor versus Al Wakra. Tractor is so beautiful, a treat for the eyes. Yeah, Palash. Iranian teams. Yeah, it's all Nasaji last season. Not one of the best, not one of the biggest. But these are the kind of teams I guess we want to watch, right? So therefore, that is something that we want to see, I guess, on a more regular basis. So therefore, yeah, that's something that in continental level suddenly we can have those comparisons, right? Of how good, how bad are we actually, right? So therefore, that's a challenge I guess we have with the quality that we have at the moment at our disposal. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we continue and how we do things, and yeah, not easy. Right. Once again, a reminder: if you haven't videos, I did a preview on all the ISL teams, 12 out of 13. The last one tomorrow will be on Hyderabad FC, and do watch them if you can. Do you think coaching lesson expenses in India? What about Germany? Morali, if you're looking at coaching as a career, right? My simple question to people is your education at college, university free? In Germany, it's not free. And it is for everybody at the lowest levels, people who are just coaching for the fun of it. They pay to, and they spend time off weekends, this, that, everything to get the licenses done around the world. As a consultant, I feel FSTL, AIFF, or government should hire a consulting firm like KPMG, EY, or any other to prepare a real model for Indian football. Current admin don't have quality of power, I feel. So do you think here on Rare that the people of KPMG or Ernst and Young, let's add Deloitte and the others to this, that they would have the inputs, the knowledge, the understanding to create a model for Indian football? I don't think so. Sri Lankan origin player who play Euro top league soon comes South Championship, and two players from A League origin. Sri Lanka will have a whole team of players of origin. Yeah, they'll be strong. How many years left we need to lose the ACL2 spot? Looks like we are going to lose it. Restructuring happened. I guess we've got it at least for another 2 years. Indian football had travel issue. What about international football? There instances? It happens. Yeah, Murali. Pakistan had it recently. Teams traveling to Iran always. I think Al Wakra, I don't know if Al Wakra today is playing with the foreigners. I guess the Al Wakra is playing the games without the foreigners, right? So that needs to be understood, that certain players cannot travel or will not travel, let's say, to Iran, right? So therefore, these are the things that that needs to be understood, that traveling in Asia sometimes is a little bit more complex and complicated than what we think, right? So therefore, yeah, these are all existing problems. To be honest, I feel the only way AIFF will ever try to improve Indian football will be if India lose to Pakistan. Pranjal, I don't. Well, let's see. Our Indian players' quality isn't gonna improve. Better to have no foreign player limit and no salary cap. Agree with Ashish Negi. Clubs should spend 10% of their budget for youth development. Paresh, I know that we had a discussion 10 years ago at the start of the ISL about this, and that a certain amount should be set aside for your grassroots and youth academy clubs. I know from other entities that they just put in figures and nobody checked it, and they never spend that money on youth development. So all these, in theory, again, that's the problem for a lot of people. In theory, a lot of these things sound nice, sound good. But this is not MLS. MLS, you can follow every bloody transaction. The league follows every transaction, right? So therefore, it will not work. It sounds nice in theory, but it will not work. No, it's Walkers. Oh, sorry, then my mistake, Palash. Then the foreigners are playing. That's even worse. 20% in youth with the Canary compulsory. Blue, not happening. If I have a club and my owner tells me, listen, this you have to do, I will then find means and ways of not spending 20% of money on youth academy. If need be, if I need to spend it on the first team. The owner is the king, sadly. Molina has 80K quotes, 10 draws in 17 games. Molina has also 4 draws in 5 matches, king of draws. Looks like it. Draw Lina for a reason, says Blue. Yeah, these are all realities. Not easy for Molina. where does he go from here? How does he build his team? How does he change trajectory of his team? I think that's another thing that he will face now. A lot of pressure on him for his team to be getting better results. Not easy, I think. Challenge is there, but again, he will have to try and change things for himself and for his team. Yeah, and it's not an easy one. It's not an easy one. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, people blame Havas for defense again. This he used to win. I think that's the point, right? I think it's a similar discussion that we had about Stephen Constantine, right? When Stephen was there, we're like, boring, not good, this, that. But we used to get results. And then with ego, we'll play possession football, we'll do this, we'll do that, blah, 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 blah. And like, what? Nothing. Okay. Stephen was better. So that's the reality where we're stuck. Peter Crouch as a player, your thoughts? Tall striker, did a lot with his career, had some weird celebrations of goals. So yeah, that's Peter Crouch. Right, 1 hour, 11 minutes. One more reminder to those of you watching live, or maybe even deferred, please leave a like, share and subscribe behind. So far, we've gathered 24 likes. Thanks a lot for that. 1,711 subscribers. So lost a subscriber in the last few minutes. Oops. And as Ravar asks your opinion regarding some Tashkent Shahab appointments, Ravar, I've done a separate video on it. If you haven't watched it, do watch it. I think it's worth the effort. 5 minutes and 49 seconds. I cannot understand this appointment. Sorry, nothing against Santosh personally, but it makes no sense at all. A man who's never worked in the women's game, who's not worked with the national team setup, doesn't make, so therefore, that's nothing. Heard Musiala didn't extend his contract with Bayern. Any news from your side? No. They've not even started talking about things. Musiala's contract runs till 2026, and Bayern want to make him their priority. They want to build the team around him, so they will have the conversation in the coming weeks and months. So, not bothered. They will find a solution to the Musiala thing. I think Jamal Musiala also knows what he owes Bayern Munich, who gave him a chance after Chelsea thought he wasn't good enough. So therefore, in my opinion, that will surely go ahead, and Musiala at some stage will sign an extension to his contract. Right, guys, slowly ending this live today. Thanks once again for being part of this Indian football discussion today. And yeah, let's see what happens in the coming days. Tomorrow, of course, Hyderabad FC return, face Bangalore FC. So BFC host Hyderabad FC. Let's see what team they come out with. I hope that they will be able to sort out all these ban suspensions tomorrow, that they can play the best team. Let's see. And then, yeah, we'll talk about other things as well. Do you think Mohun Bagan has any chance against Al-Wakra or Tractor FC? Is a draw possible? So I said before the start, both of these teams are way better than us. Any of the teams, I would think that all 4 matches would be lost. If they can get a draw, it would be an upset. It would be a positive upset, in my opinion. Right. Let me end on that note. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. This is Anava Chaudhary signing off here on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot. Good night, and I'll see you tomorrow night.